Okay, I think we are live. Hello, world. Happy Halloween. Welcome to Mr. FLIXTER Show. I'm your host, Mr. FLIXTER. And this episode is the 30th anniversary Spook-tacular for Casper from 1995. But first, I'm going to talk about the weekend box office for last week. And then, first, before that even, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have some birthdays I want to talk about. So let's start the show, shall we? Oh, I'm excited. Spooky season is my favorite time of year. Hello, world. I'm Chris Maitini, aka Mr. FLIXTER.
Mr. FLIXTER.
Here I am. Okay, so let's talk about these birthdays. We had some big ones. So let's just share the screen so I don't forget. I'll just think out loud. Put myself in the corner. Here we go. So the first birthday is John Lithgow. Or Lithgow. However you say it. And of course, he was Lord Farquaad in Shrek. And he was in Third Rock from the Sun. That's when I mainly know him from. That's why I was introduced to him. Here's a picture. He was born October 19th, 1945, in Rochester, New York. He just turned 80. Wow. That's amazing. So let's see what else he's done, shall we? Go away. I'm not sponsored. Okay. We'll just stick to acting credits. Keep it simple. Okay, his most recent job was Dexter Resurrection. I haven't seen that yet. I didn't know he was in that. That's cool. He was also in The Rule of Jenny Penn. That's a great horror movie. It says 2024, but really it came out this year to streaming services. It's on Shudder now. You can watch it. I think it's one of the best horror movies so far this year. And Conclave, that was last year. That was really good. That was one of my favorite movies of last year, non-horror movies. Let's see. Oh yeah, he was on The Simpsons. That's hilarious for 2 episodes. That's awesome. He was also in Dexter, New Blood. I haven't really watched the new Dexter shows, so this is all news to me. Let's see. Well, normally I see how many acting credits he has. 141. Wow. All right, let's get to it. He was in the Pet Sematary remake, which was awful, but he was good in it in 2019. There we go. My computer kind of froze there. Sorry. He was in Pitch Perfect 3, 2017. Daddy's Home 2, that was pretty good. Also 2017. That's right, he was in Interstellar in 2014. He was in How I Met Your Mother for 4 episodes. Oh, oops, back. Oh, it took me down way too far. There we go. If it loads, there we go. I heard Bombshell was good. I haven't seen it yet. 2019. Forgot to mention that one. Let's see what else we got. He was in This Is 40 in 2012. That was pretty good. The campaign's pretty funny. Also 2012. Of course, he was in the original Dexter series. What is going on here? Uh-oh. I don't want this. There we go. But yeah, Dexter, 2009. He's probably one of the best Dexter villains, too. Trinity Killer. And I forgot he was on 30 Rock for an episode. That's cool. Confessions of a Shopaholic was 2009. Oh, yeah, he was in the Dreamgirls movie, 2006. And The Life and Death of Peter Sellers, 2004. There's Third Rock from the Sun, 96 to 2001. And then Shrek, of course, also 2001. Oh, I didn't know he was in Rugrats in Paris. I do remember Don Quixote. That was good. 2000. Let's see. What else? Yeah, he was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt. I remember that. 95. And The Pelican Brief, 93. Cliffhanger is also a really good movie. 1993 as well. What else? I'm just going through the list, seeing what stands out. Footloose, of course, 84. And in terms of endearment, 83. Classic movies. He was in All That Jazz, 1979. Mom, the Wolfman, and Me. I don't know what that is, but that sounds interesting, from 1980. So it looks like his first gig was D-Lane, or the Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Lost. Hold on, what is this? It's too long. D-Lane, or Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Lost Bag Blues from 1972. Cool. So happy birthday, John Lithgow. Okay, the next birthday is Christopher Lloyd. I recently did a video where I reviewed the first Back to the Future movie, and then I ranked the trilogy. So if you're interested, that's on my channel. Here's his picture. He was born October 22nd, 1983. Sorry, 1938. That's my dyslexia. In Stamford, Connecticut. He just turned 87. That's amazing. So let's see his body of work. Just acting, 259 acting credits. Wow. His most recent thing is Tuned Out. He's a therapist. That's cool. Oh, he's in the Wednesday show. That's cool. Uh-oh. What happened there? Okay, cool. Back to where we were. He's in Nobody 2. I haven't seen that one yet from this year. I heard Hacks was good, but I haven't seen it. From 2024. Oh, he's in that Spirit Halloween movie. That's right, from 2022. He's in an episode of The Conners. Uh-oh. Oops. Okay, what else? There's the first Nobody from 2021. I thought that came out more recent than that. Wow. Oh, he was in the 12 Monkeys TV series. That's cool. I heard that was good. For 3 episodes from 2017 to 2018, and the new Roseanne show for 1 episode. Cool. Also 2018. Oh, too fast. He was in an episode of The Big Bang Theory. I remember that. He's hilarious in that episode. It's so random, too. That's kind of what makes it so funny. Oh, he was in an episode of The Simpsons in 2015, 10 years ago. That's cool. Oh, yeah, he was in Sin City 2, Dame to Kill For, 2014. And then, yeah, he's got a cameo in A Million Ways to Die in the West. That was hilarious because he's Doc Brown. Well, I forgot he was in the Michael J. Fox show. That's cool. For what episode? In 2014. I haven't seen Psych, but I heard that's a good show from 2013. Let's see, what else? Oh, he was in R.L. Stein's R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour, 2012. Let's see what else stands out. Well, he was in an episode of Friends. That was a good show. I forgot he was in that. 2011. Corona 3D, 2010. That's right. I remember that now. Well, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in 2009. That's cool. He was in Call of the Wild in 2009. He was even in that Numbers show. That's cool. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. There we go. That was a good show. One episode from 2004. And he was in the Tremors TV show. I didn't know that. I didn't watch that. 2003. He was in Malcolm in the Middle for an episode. Oh. Didn't mean to click that. Too far. Here we go. Back to where we were. Oh, what happened there? Okay, that was weird. What is going on? I didn't even click his picture. My computer's got a mind of its own. That's why I make sure. Am I still streaming? Yeah, still streaming. Cool. All right. Back to the birthdays. And yeah. Okay, and here we go. Further, much further. Here we go. Okay, cool. Here we go. Back to where we were. Okay, I said some of these already. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm just going to take a second to check the comment section. Oh. Fezcott says, hi, Chris. That's my buddy Ben. Hey, Ben, how you doing? And then Sabrina says, I forgot he was in Santa Buddies. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. Cool. I forgot he was in Santa Buddies too. I don't think I saw that on the list yet. Oh, yeah, he was in the Hey Arnold movie of 2002. And he was in The Tick. That's awesome. 2001. Highly underrated show. All right, let's see. Well, Man on the Moon was good. 1999. It also had Jim Carrey. Spin City was a good show, 1999. That also had Michael J. Fox, funny enough. Anastasia, 1997. Great film. I think he plays the villain in that one, Rasputin. Oh, he does too, right there. It says it. Huh. Cool. Let's see. What else? There's Back to the Future Part 3 in 1990. Part 2. I think I went a little too fast, though. Hold on. I think I missed something. The DuckTales movie from 1990. Wow. Yeah, I did. Addams Family, 1991. And then Addams Family Values, 93. And Angels in the Outfield. That's right, 94. Awesome. This was my childhood. And Camp Nowhere. And Page Master, that's right. I'm glad I went back up. I skipped a lot. Okay, cool. Let's go back. A little more. All right, we're in the 80s now. Oh, that's right. He was on Cheers, 84. And Mr. Mom, 83. Let's see. What was his first gig? It's a TV show. What was his first movie? Oh, yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This I consider quintessential cinema. Phenomenal film, 1975. So happy birthday, Christopher Lloyd. Now I need your picture again. Huge fan. All right, we got one more birthday. Well, I just want to make sure. Hold on. Still streaming. Cool. All right. The last birthday is Jeff Goldblum. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I thought I was typing. Here we go. Of course, he was in Jurassic Park and The Fly. Well, let's see what else he's done. If it loads. Here we go. Cool. First, let's get a look at his picture. This is a great photo. Here we go. Jeff Goldblum was born October 22nd, 1952, in West Homestead, Pennsylvania. He turned 73. That's amazing. All right. Let's take a look at his body of work. Go away. I'm not sponsored. We'll just stick to acting. 148 acting credits. Wow. He plays the wizard in Wicked from 2004. He's going to be in the new one too, coming out next month. Oh, that comes up next month. Holy crap. It seemed like it was so far away. Asteroid City was 2023. Jurassic World Dominion was garbage, but he was good in it. For 2022. I did a ranking of the Jurassic Park movies, so if you're interested, that's on my channel too, including Rebirth. I also reviewed Rebirth in the same episode. Oh, that's right. He was in Boss Baby 2, 2021. That was a good movie. That was a surprisingly good movie. Way better than I thought it would be. Oh, too far. All right, let's go. Excuse me. Yeah, he was in Fallen Kingdom as well. Actually, I think that one's the worst Jurassic Park movie. 2018. He was in Isle of Dogs. That was good. Also 2018. He's in Thor Ragnarok. That one's awesome. From 2017. Oh, I forgot that he had a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 from 2017. Right there. And then he was in the Independence Day sequel too. I forgot about that. Of course, that's a very forgettable film. 2016, it wasn't very good. It doesn't even come close to the original. But we'll get to that. He was in the Grand Budapest Hotel, 2014. Let's see, what else? He was in The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. That movie's hilarious. 2004. He was in Cats and Dogs. I love that movie. 2001. Prince of Egypt, 1998. Of course, there's The Lost World, Jurassic Park, the second one, 1997. Oh, there it is. Independence Day, 1996. And he was in The Simpsons. MacArthur Parker, that's right. I remember that. That's that's hilarious. 1996, one episode. That was Troy McClure's agent. He was in 9 months. That was pretty funny. 1995. There's the original Jurassic Park, a classic, quintessential cinema. 1993. Oh wow, he was in an episode of Sesame Street. 1990. Who knew? He's in Earth Girls Are Easy from 1988. That one's pretty funny. I think that one's also got Jim Carrey and Marlon Wayans. So good cast. Of course, there's The Fly, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. 1986. I recently wrote an article for Horror Buzz about the greatest horror movies ever made. So if you're interested, you can find that on the website. I can even leave a link in the description below. see what else. Laverne and Shirley, 82. Oh yeah, The Big Chill, 83. Don't want to forget that one. He's in the 78 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, another one of the greatest horror movies ever made, I think, in my humble opinion. And then Annie Hall, 1977. Well, I didn't know he was in the Starsky and Hutch show. That's cool. 1977. The Sentinel, 1977. Let's see what his first job was. Death Wish, 1974. Awesome. Back up. There we go. Let's take a look at him one last time. Happy birthday, Jeff Goldblum. Hopefully we celebrate many more with you. And the others. John Lithgow and Christopher Lloyd. All right, let's see. Still streaming? Awesome. No new comments. Okay. So, now that that's done, let's get to the weekend box office update. Because there was a big release last week, and I'm very curious how it did. Because I haven't seen this list yet. So I'll just share screen without further ado. Maybe you want Box Office Mojo. Hold on, did I do that right? Okay. I just want to fix one thing. I thought that looked funny. There we go. Much better. All right, this is the domestic box office for October 17th to the 19th, last week. The big release I was referring to was Black Phone 2. I'm very much looking forward to this, but I've heard mixed reviews. It got number 1 at the box office. Wow, that's awesome. And it made $27.3 million. That's amazing. And number 2 is Tron Ares. I'm not really looking forward to this. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it, to be honest. It was number 1 last week. But it dropped 66.6%. Wow. It still made 11.1 million, and it's made 54.5 million so far. So that seems decent, but I'm sure that had a very large budget. Number 3 was Good Fortune. It made 6.1 million. Well, that's a huge gap. 11, then down to 6. Oh, this is the first week for this one. All right, cool. And then number 4, dropping a spot, is One Battle After Another. This is the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I think it looks pretty good. Looking forward to it. 3.8 million. It's got kind of a big drop, 43.4%. But it's made 61.7 so far after 4 weeks. But again, I'm sure that had a large budget too, so I'm sure it's got a long way to go. And number 5 is Roofman. I think that's the new Channing Tatum movie. That was number 2 last week. It made 3.7 million. It dropped 53.9%. Wow, over half. It's been out for 2 weeks, and it's made 15.5 million so far. So I don't think that one is doing very well. But again, it's all about the budget. Number 6, another debut, was Truth and Reason. I'm not sure what this one is, but it made $2.6 million. Oh, Angel Studios. Okay, that says it all. They do religious movies. And then number 7 is Gabby's Doll's House, the movie. This one's actually holding very strong, and I'm very surprised. It was 4 last week. It made $1.7 million this week. Still, it dropped almost half. Wow. And it's made $30 million so far after 4 weeks. So that one's doing pretty good. At number 8, we have The Conjuring: Last Rites. That was number 5 last week. This one I'm not really looking forward to, so I'm going to wait for it to stream personally. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way because look at it drop. 48.6%. Wow. It made 1.6 this week. And it's made 175.4 million so far after 7 weeks. Wow. That's amazing. At number 9, we have After the Hunt. Last week it was number 20? What? Made 1.5 million. It had an increase of 863.8%. I've never seen it that high before. Oh, that's why. Because it added over 1,000 screens. Oh, I see. So after 2 weeks, it's made 1.7 million. That's cool. That's an Amazon movie. I'm not familiar with that one. At number 10, we have Soul on Fire, which was 6 last week. It made another 1.3 million, but still it dropped 53.3. And it's made 5.5 so far after 2 weeks. So some honorable mentions to round out the bottom 15. We got Demon Slayer at number 11. It was 7 last week. It made 1.3, and it's made $131.1 million domestically. Keep in mind, this is just in the U.S. Pets on a Train. Sure. 821.7 thousand. So far, that's the opening weekend for that one. Number 13 is Good Boy. I saw this one recently. It was okay. It got 552,000. It dropped 60% though. But it's made 6.1 million so far. That seems pretty good. I'm pretty sure the budget wasn't too high for that one. It was 3 last week. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. I didn't like this one though. Strangers Chapter 2. I saw that one recently. It made 412,000. It dropped 74.4%. It's made 14.6 million after 4 weeks. That's interesting because they shot, it was supposed to be a planned trilogy, and they shot 2 and 3 back to back, and they said they're still going to release part 3. The fact that it's already filmed is probably a big factor, but if they didn't film it already, I'm pretty sure that film wouldn't have got made because this movie is losing money. And it's terrible. Probably one of the worst horror movies this year. The next one's really good, though. The Long Walk. I enjoyed that one. It's got $402,000. It dropped 62.2%. Whoa. But it's made $34.8 million. I'm pretty sure that one would have a pretty modest budget. So I think this one's going to be okay. After 6 weeks, it seems to be making quite a bit of money. All right. So now that we've seen the domestic, let's look at worldwide. All right, so it looks like Nisha 2 is still holding strong. That's going to be a tough one to beat. It's made almost $2 billion so far. And second, we got Lilo and Stitch. I'm really surprised how well this one did. It's made over $1 billion. 3, we have the Minecraft movie. I've been saying all year I thought it was going to hit $1 billion, but it didn't. It was so close, but it didn't. Number 4 is Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm really surprised how well this movie's doing. It was okay. I enjoyed it. Again, if you want to see my review, it's on my channel. This one, I'm surprised, made so much money too. How to Train Your Dragon. At number 5, it's made $635.9 million so far. I did do an episode about ranking the animated How to Train Your Dragon movies. I don't know if I'm going to watch this one. I just don't see the fascination in seeing animated things turned into live action. And it kind of bugs me that animated movies have to become live action to be called legit. Because animated movies take so much more time and energy and creativity. But anyways, number 6. That's my rant. F1 the movie. It made $629.5 million. Number 7, Superman. I thought this one would have done better. I'm kind of surprised it only made $615.9 million so far. Around the world? I thought that was going to be $1 billion movie for sure. Same with this one. But this one got bad reviews. I haven't seen this one yet. I haven't seen Superman either. Or F1. But Mission Impossible made $598.7 million. There's Demon Slayer holding up strong. $598.1 million so far. Wow. And number 10 is Fantastic Four First Steps. Hanging in there at $521.8 million. but The Conjuring might overtake it because it's still going strong in theaters. It's got $484.8 million. Wow. Don't quote me on this, but that might be a record for the franchise. 12, we're in the honorable mentions now. 12 is Captain America Brave New World. I thought this would have done better too. It made $415.1 million so far. And the Thunderbolts, I thought this would make more than Captain America because I think it was a better movie. It made $382.4 million. 14, we have Sinners, phenomenal film. One of the best horror movies this year for sure. $366.6 million. I thought that would have made more money too, actually. And then 15, shout out to Final Destination Bloodlines. $315.2 million. I know this is the best for the franchise, so we'll probably be getting another one. Oh, that's cool. Weapons was 16. I like that one too. Highly recommend Weapons and Final Destination Bloodlines. Weapons made $267.5 million. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend box office update. I guess I don't have to scroll back up or down. Okay, let's go back. Back to me. Here we go. Get rid of this. All right. So let's get to the main event, shall we? The 30th anniversary Spook-tacular for Casper. And no, I'm not going to do a ranking of the other Casper live action animated hybrid movies. Spoiler alert, they're not good. And if I had to do a ranking, I'd have to rewatch them because it's been so long since I've seen them. But it's one. This is the one worth talking about. All right, so let's go back to IMDb. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Share screen. There we go. So here's the synopsis. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Are we still streaming? Cool. Oh, I just want to fix that. That bothers me. There we go. Okay. Cool. Like I was saying, here's the synopsis according to IMDb. Oh, too far. There we go. An afterlife therapist and his daughter meet a friendly ghost when they move into a crumbling mansion in order to rid the premises of the wicked spirits. Let's take a look at that poster. Oh, wait, not that poster. I don't like that poster. Where's the poster I like? Go to photos. And here we go. I'll just go here. I just want the poster. I think this is it. Whoa, that's not English. Hold on. Let's find an English poster. Here we go. Here's the one I like. That one's pretty good too. Here's this one. And then there's the other one. Hold on. I love movie posters. This one. Yeah, that one's awesome. Seeing is believing. But I like the other one more. It's got web stuff. I think it was this one. Yeah, cool. So, before I get to the review, I just want to go over a little bit of history about the character. I don't know about you, but I find history fascinating. So, Casper was created by Seymour Wright, who wrote the original children's book and created the concept, as well as Joe Oriolo. Sorry. He illustrated the book. However, this book was never published. Right? Or Reet? I think it's Reet, actually. He was away on military service during World War II, where Oriolo sold the rights to the book to Paramount Pictures animation division, Famous Studios. So his first public appearance was actually the Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoon, which was released in 1945. And it was very similar to the book that those guys wrote. The main difference was the book was a quiet, sentimental story. The cartoon was more lively, and it was a lot funnier. But both kept Casper's kind, friendly characterization. In the book and the cartoon, he meets two kids named Bunny and Johnny, and they become his friends over time. Their mother, who's scared of Casper at first, later becomes his friend too, and he gets welcomed into the family. That's basically the book and the first cartoon. Paramount started the Casper the Friendly Ghost TV series. Sorry, these were animated shorts that played in theaters before the feature-length film. And then the TV show came in 1950. All the way until 1959, becoming the studio's most successful character at the time. And if you think about it, because his debut was in, I don't think I said it before, but they wrote the book in 1939. So Casper's almost the same age as Batman. Harvey Comics acquired the rights in 1952. And this turned Casper into a comic book superstar. The comics ran until Harvey Comics ceased regular publishing in the early 1980s. That's so long. The comics tremendously expanded his world with recurring characters like Wendy the Good Little Witch, Spooky the Tough Little Ghost, who was Casper's cousin, and they introduced the Ghostly Trio, Casper's mischievous uncles. They first appeared in the cartoon Fright from Wrong on November 2nd, 1956. In the cartoons and the comic books, the Ghostly Trio were depicted a little differently, though, although they did remain brothers over time. But the original names for the Ghostly Trio were Fatso, Fuso, and Lotso. The names were changed to Stinky and Stretch for the film. Probably because they're easier to say and remember. I totally get the change. And then from 1963 to 1970, ABC aired the show The New Casper Cartoon Show. And Casper continued to appear in different TV specials throughout the 70s and 80s. So, this brings us to the 90s film. Originally, Alex Proyas was signed up to direct, but he eventually left due to creative differences with the screenplay. In numerous interviews, he stated that he wanted to do more of a dark children's fantasy similar to The Wizard of Oz. So just think about that. Could you imagine what the director of The Crow would have come up with? If you've seen The Crow, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen The Crow, watch it. It's amazing. So instead, they hired Brad Silberling to direct. It was made on a budget of $55 million. It made $289 million at the box office. To put that into perspective, these other movies came out the same year, and this movie made more money than those ones, like GoldenEye, Jumanji, Crimson Tide, and Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's how much money it made. Silberling's stylish direction makes the film whimsical. It feels like it could be a Tim Burton film. The camera angles and movements have an energetic quality. The variety of shots make the primary location of Whipstaff Manor a quirky, spooky character in itself. The use of light and shadow adds to the atmosphere because how they emphasize the colors blue and silver for this eerie, supernatural vibe. The CGI for the ghosts still holds up today, in my opinion. I love the character designs too. Each one has a distinct look, and it suits their personalities. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it before, but another change from the comics and the cartoons in the movie is that Fatso was the leader of the ghostly trio. But in the movie, it's Stretch. It's unclear why that change was made. But anyways, fun fact. This was Universal Pictures' first live-action animated hybrid movie. The effects were done by Industrial Light and Magic. They also did the special effects for like Star Wars and Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park came out not too long before this. It was only a couple years. So now that that revolutionary breakthrough in technology and filmmaking is already made, they can apply it to other films. And this is one of the results. So considering that this was made just after that, no wonder it looks so good. It really is a breakthrough in technology. And I love how this is the Halloween movie. The holiday iconography can be seen in all the shot compositions throughout the film. If you look closely, you'll see something Halloween in this movie. There's also a subplot about holding the school Halloween dance at Whipstaff Manor. Now, hold on. Let's see if I can find a picture of Whipstaff. Because there's one here. Well, let's see if we can get like an interior or something. But before we do that, am I still streaming? Yes. Awesome. Still good. Cool. So let's just close this. See if I can get a picture of staff. Let's just do the still frame. That's a good picture. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Whipstaff Manor. This is one of the most incredible movies that I've ever seen. The Gothic set design is incredible. Production designer Leslie Dilley was influenced by architecture from Barcelona, Spain. The amount of care and craftsmanship can be seen in every little detail on every square inch of the set. They even built a track that has a seat on it that functions as a ride. Can you imagine how long that must have took to build and then test and then make sure it works and then make sure it works for filming? And then there's the Lazarus machine, which is another technical marvel in itself. I just wish I was able to explore this set because it doesn't exist anymore. They tore it down in like 2000 or something like that, but they did use it for a bunch of other stuff. So it's cool they kept reusing it, repurposing it. Yeah, every portion of this mansion is amazing. It's pretty cool. They just built it on the Universal lot. This movie is such a 90s time capsule too. It's so much fun to see 90s technology, like the old TVs, the phones, the cars, even the way Casper discovers Kat and her father, Dr. James Harvey, is hilarious because he discovers them watching Hard Copy. If you weren't alive at the time, then you might not know, but that was a tabloid news show that ran for 10 years. So after the 90s, it just kind of disappeared. But I remember my parents watching that growing up. So seeing it in the movie is like, hey, cool. I know that thing. I guess that's what nostalgia is, eh? But yeah, 95. That means I was 10 years old when this came out. The target audience. It was written by Sherry Stoner and Deanna Oliver. J.J. Abrams also did some uncredited rewrites to the script. Fun fact, Stoner and Oliver used to work on the TV shows Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. So Steven Spielberg, it was his production company, and he's one of the main reasons why this film got made in the first place. He just saw something in them and thought they were really funny and thought they'd be perfect for the movie. And this is what we got. No, hold on. I'm going to change it, but I'll keep it on Whipstaff for now. It's gorgeous. But anyways, the little main plot, admittedly, is as basic and cliche as it gets. The villainess inherits Whipstaff Manor, which she's completely disinterested in, until she learns of a treasure hidden inside. The problem is it's haunted, so she has to get rid of the ghost to explore the house. And throughout the film, there's minor contrivances, like how Casper's mom's dress fits Kat. And how did Kat find and arrange all of Casper's old toys so fast and get them working properly? What is going on here? I didn't even click on that. My mouse is being screwy. Okay, I'll put the cursor there so it's not touching anything. Like I was saying, minor discrepancies in the film. Like, there's only one bottle of the formula that powers the Lazarus machine to bring people back to life. Sorry, but that's just lazy writing. They only did that so that Casper could do that act of kindness and that selfless act. So that's what I mean. There's other ways they could have portrayed Casper like that, but it seems like they just kind of took the easy way out there. And there just so happens to be a sinkhole causing Dr. Harvey to accidentally fall to his death in front of the bar that nobody noticed coming inside. How do you not see that? However, I do think that the treasure twist is clever, though. It's pretty funny that it's an autographed baseball card. So let's go back to the poster. The good poster. Here we go. A little further down. Here we go. Awesome. And I just want to make sure it's still streaming. All right, cool. No new comments. That's cool. Okay. Back to the review. And the plot is overstuffed. If you think about it, there's the dead mom backstory. Again, that's right. This is like the third or fourth movie that I reviewed in a row with dead mom backstories. So talk about cliche, eh? Then there's the Cat and Casper love story. There's the Lazarus machine resurrecting the dead. There's the Halloween party that I mentioned before. There's the whole thing with the father-daughter dynamic. Then there's Casper's memory issue. There's the ghostly trio's antics. And then finally, there's Kat trying to fit into her new school. So that's like 6 or 7 subplots. That's a lot of subplots. I also wish that they included the scene where Casper stands up to his uncles to have a little bit more character development for him. And it would have added dimensions to all 4 characters, actually, because they kind of would respect them a little bit more after that. So I felt like that was kind of a missed opportunity, too. Why did that happen? I'm not even touching my screen, my mouse or anything. Okay, let's put the mouse here, away from everything. Because it's being screwy for some reason. But anyways, I love how the film is full of dark, melancholic undertones. In comparison to the comics and the cartoons, notably providing Casper with a tragic backstory about his death, which was never covered before. I don't mind the change, because this humanizes the character, therefore grounding him. As if coating the film in a bittersweet veneer, so to speak. Fun fact, early concepts of Casper were imagined as a spirit of a deceased child, a sad, lonely ghost who just wanted to make friends. So this dark implication was later softened for younger audiences. And then they kind of stayed away from the whole concept after that, too. They even tried to say that ghosts in this world were like a supernatural entity, like goblins and fairies, stuff like that. So the writing in this film brings the original concept full circle. Interestingly enough, Russell Harvey The heir to Harvey Comics thoroughly hated this film, especially how it forced unfriendly, quote unquote, unfriendly humor to kids. And he didn't like the overtly dark and quote unquote completely pointless backstory to something so beloved for its innocence. He also didn't like how he made Casper more interested in girls, so to speak. Before, that was never really an issue. He never had a crush on a girl or anything like that, so he disliked it. He also expressed disappointment in Steven Spielberg, feeling like the film was a wasted opportunity for perfectly quote unquote legitimately heartfelt adaptation. So, yeah, in other words, he really felt like they missed the mark. To me, I'd compare that to how Stephen King feels about The Shining. Now, talk about the cast. They perfectly fit their respective roles. It's hard to imagine anyone else playing these parts, actually. We got Malachi Pearson is the voice of Casper, and then Devon Sawa plays Casper in human form later on. Christina Ricci, sorry, I said that wrong. Christina Ricci plays Kat. Bill Pullman plays Dr. James Harvey. They're on the poster right here. Then we got Kathy Moriarty as Kerrigan. Eric Idle plays Dibs. Joe Napodi is the voice of Stretch. Joe Alasky is the voice of Stinky. And lastly, Brad Garrett is the voice of Fatso. The film also boasts a wide range of cameos, including Ben Stein, Don Novello, Fred Rogers using archive footage, Terry Murphy, who was an anchor on Hard Copy, Clint Eastwood, Rodney Dangerfield, Mel Gibson, and even John Kazir as the Crypt Keeper, with Brock Winkless performing the puppetry for the cameo. But most notably is Dan Aykroyd as Ray Stantz in his full Ghostbuster getup. And it's funny too, because in numerous interviews later on, Aykroyd later confirmed that his cameo was canon to the Ghostbusters franchise. That's right, you heard me correctly. Casper is a Ghostbusters movie. Or at least it's included in those films. Which does make sense considering the humor and the spooky vibe. Ghostbusters is a lot scarier though. Don't get me wrong, I do love the horror in this movie. This is a great gateway horror film. Something the whole family can watch. It's not too scary for the kids, but it has that great spooky factor. And I love the score by James Horner. It's full of whimsy and darkness that's emotional and heartwarming. It sounds very similar to the music of Danny Elfman. Especially the song Casper's Lullaby. The simple piano, accompanied by the wind instruments and the string section, are extremely effective at being hauntingly beautiful. Or should I say, beautiful? I couldn't resist. But hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Let's go back to the cast for a moment. Just so you can get an idea who these people are. Let's go down. Oh, well, I'm in the wrong spot though. Wait, am I still streaming? Yeah, cool. Go back. Oh, oops. Okay, we're back. Oh, battery's low. Hold on, I just gotta plug this in. 1 second, I got my cord right here. But you can see Kerrigan and Dibs here. Like, this movie is surprisingly dark. At one point, these two try to murder each other for the treasure. And then at one point, the ghostly trio tries to murder Dr. Harvey. And this is the kids' movie. And it's so funny what PG movies could have got away with back in the 90s. They call Kerrigan a bitch to her face at least 3 times. That's hilarious. But back then, no one thought anything of it. It wasn't an issue. It's just the way people were. People were a lot more laid back in the 90s, though. What a different time. Wow. But anyways, that's my rant about the 90s. That's actually a really good photo. I wonder why these are in black and white, though. The movie's not in black and white. And I'm curious what that would look like, because I do love black and white films, especially silent films. So let's see. Let's get some color photos. Are these still frames? Okay. There you go. That's a good one. Kerrigan and Dibs with Cat. Fun fact, too. In numerous interviews, Eric Idle has stated he does not remember shooting this movie at all. Isn't that funny? Let's see. Oh, too far. Oh, there's the Ghostbusters scene. It's one of the funniest parts of the movies, too. Who are you going to call? Someone else. And here's Kat. I think Christina Ricci was 15 when she filmed this. It was just after The Addams Family. And originally she didn't want to do it because she didn't want to be typecast in the same kinds of movies all the time. And then this is a great reference to The Exorcist. He's got his head twisted backwards and he's covered in pea soup. There's actually a lot of really good horror references in this movie. That's one of the best ones, though. But this guy, Don Novello, he was a comedian in the 90s, and that was his whole shtick. He was like, yeah, no problem. Piece of cake. And it would go horribly wrong, but he's like, yeah, it's no problem. It's no problem. It was just one of those things. You have to see it to get it. It was hilarious. So seeing him in this movie was a big deal at the time. And here's the famous scene from the dance, the two of them. One of my favorite quotes from the movie. Can I keep you? I said that to my girlfriend, and she thought it was so romantic. And then I'm trying to find a good picture of the ghostly trio, just so you can see these character designs I was talking about. Oh, here's a good picture of the mansion. A little detail, like the piranhas for the handrails. And I think that's the chair. Yeah, there's the up and out of machine. Oh, wait, she's just walking. But yeah, still. That's what I mean. Everything has such tiny details that you notice upon rewatches. It just shows how much thought was put into the building of the set. They just don't put the same, like, tender loving care in movies that they used to. So let's see. There's Casper. I love the character design. He's almost transparent, but he's still ghostly. He still keeps the same basic essence of the original cartoon. Hold on, I can bring up the original cartoon. At least pictures of it here. Casper original. Comic. Just go images. So yeah, to give you a better idea, you can really see, well, especially here. That's great. You got the ghostly trio there. Can I make this bigger? No. Okay. Well, whatever. You got Casper there. You got those three. So they are pretty true to the original. See what I mean? I think they really captured his likeness. And it's so funny they include the Crypt Keeper too. Like Ghostbusters is another reference, obviously. Because that was not a kid's show. But they put it in a kid's movie. Granted, I was watching that movie when I was a kid. I was way too young watching that show. Younger than I was supposed to be, probably. But hey, I'm sure a lot of people were. That's not a good picture of them. Where's the ghostly trio? This part's just cruel. And they tease the father about knowing the mom. Oh, there's Ben Stein. He was always popping up in random stuff in the 90s. Even had a TV show, Win Ben Stein's Money, on Comedy Central. So let's see. Is there a better picture of the ghostly trio? Let's find out. That's a pretty good one. Oh, wait. No, it's all blurry. Never mind. Try again. Let's see. A little further. A little more. Oh, that was too fast. Okay. Let's keep going. Here's another picture of web staff. You can see the piranha a little better. And this swirl always reminded me of Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know why. But that's that Tim Burton vibe that I referenced before. It feels like it could have been directed by him. I'm really curious what Alex Proyas would have did with it. Kind of similar to how I feel Edgar Wright would have did with Ant-Man, because that never happened either. But he was supposed to direct it, and he left for creative differences. So let's see, where's the ghostly trio? It's got to be a good picture. Here's the exterior of Whipstaff. This might have been CGI because it wasn't a real building. And it kind of looks like it's CGI, but don't quote me on that. It could be a matte painting, considering the time. Let's see. There's a good one. Finally. Yeah. Trying to get a close-up so you can see their faces. But yeah, you can see the likeness. Each one's distinct. Each one fits their personalities. I can go back to this picture. Where was it? What happened to that picture that I was just looking at? Oh, wait, I gotta go to images. This is where I was. Yeah, there it is. This is my example. View image. Is it gonna make it bigger? Ooh, much better. That's what I was trying to do before. Cool. So you can see how similar it is. They just made them a little more transparent. They got rid of the feet on Casper. They gave him blue eyes. Very detailed renditions. And then here's this one. Do you think it looks similar too? Leave comments below and we can talk about it. All right, let's go back to the poster. There we go. Like, yeah, the ghostly trio's on the poster too, but I was trying to get a close-up. You can even see for that, it does look like a lot of the architecture in Barcelona. Overall, sorry, take a drink. Overall, this contemplative tragic film respects the audience with sprinkles of mature subject matter under all the comedy, like the silly slapstick and the painful puns. I mean, at one point, my fatso gets sucked into a vacuum and he says, "This sucks." Sure makes me giggle, but they're not good puns. A lot of the humor does feel like it's from like Tiny Toons or Animaniacs too. But like I was saying, the sorrow underneath it all is evidently seen throughout with transparent comedy. This bittersweet tale of a lonely child is so relatable. Aren't we all just looking for a true blue friend? And I can't help myself. Every time I watch this movie, it makes me cry. It's so melancholic, yet so delightful how it touches on themes of death, grief, and morality. It does it in a way so there's no subtext. They openly talk about these topics. In this regard, I appreciate how the writers respect the audience by discussing all these subjects in a manner a child can understand without feeling overwhelmed. So, there's something for both kids and adults to enjoy. And that is what makes a great family film. Not just something that parents tolerate while their kids watch a bunch of noise and colors on the screen. This has depth, this has substance, this has meaning to it. Beyond all that silly stuff. And the basic plot. Okay, paper thin plot with all the extra plots padded in there so it could fit the runtime. But hey, beyond all that, Casper's origin story shows how an idea originally meant for a children's book, abandoned by publishers, was transformed into animated shorts, giving rise to one of America's most lasting friendly ghost icons. The book's failure to reach publishing highlights questions of creator ownership and timing. Wright, or Reed, sorry if I butchered that, has expressed later regret that despite being the story's creator, he received no share of the lasting commercial success after it left his hands. And that's really unfortunate. He deserves his due. And this film spawned 2 direct-to-video sequels. Sorry, more like indirect. Well, one's a prequel, but hey, the prequel is Casper: Spirited Beginning from 1997. And then there was Casper Meets Wendy in 1998, which actually had a young Hilary Duff as Wendy. Like I was saying before, they're not very good movies. The quality really dips. I mean, it's not even as dark or mature as this movie is. It's just cheap sight gags, and I don't want to say dumbed down, but you can tell it's for little kids. Like, this is what I'm talking about. The difference between like a kid's movie and a family film. So yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I haven't seen those movies in like 20 years. So if I rewatch it, I might have a second opinion, like a different opinion about it. But who knows? I just remember they left a bad taste in my mouth as a kid. But there was even an animated television spin-off after this called The Spook-tacular New Adventures of Casper. And that ran from 1996 to 1998. I remember watching that cartoon growing up on, I think it was on Fox. I used to love my Saturday morning cartoon lineup. Or am I kidding? I still do. But not really cartoons nowadays. Cartoons nowadays, they're just not the same. But anyways, that's a different tangent for a different episode. After the animated show ran, there was Casper's Haunted Christmas in the year 2000. Then there was another TV movie called Casper's Scare School in 2006. Between 2010s and the 2020s, between all the reruns on TV and the streaming services that revived Casper, and the streaming services, they've revived Casper to keep him relevant and popular with new audiences even today. The character still remains part of the DreamWorks Classics studio. And that, of course, is a subsidiary to NBC Universal. So they're the ones who currently own the rights. So whatever happens after this is up to them. I just hope they don't try to do like a legacy sequel for this, because that would be weird. Christina Ricci coming back as an adult, and then Bill Pullman coming back as an old man, but you still have like the ghosts and stuff. But the CGI wouldn't even be the same. I don't know. I don't think it would be very good. I'm not interested in seeing that whatsoever. So this movie is similar to E.T. from 1982, Beetlejuice from 1988, and Hocus Pocus from 1993. So if you like those, I highly recommend this. I have fond memories watching this at the drive-in as a kid. I remember sitting in the car when you had to put the speakers into the windows. The funny thing is, I don't remember what we saw this with, because they usually show 2 movies, sometimes 3 at the drive-in, but this one always stuck with me. It remains an annual Halloween watch for me to this day. Never fails. Every year, Halloween time, I'm watching this. You have to. It's not Halloween unless you watch Casper. It's got its flaws as far as like story structure, plot holes go, and too many plots. But the CGI is the highlight, combining physical models and 2D animatics. If you're not familiar with those, are basically the animation director Phil Nibbelink. Sorry if I butchered that. He created hand-drawn like cells and put it over top of the film, and he drew them in real time on set to give people an idea of what they were looking at when they were shooting. And eventually these became called by the cast and crew, they got the nickname Caspermatics instead of animatics. So for over 85 years, Casper has evolved from a humble 1939 storybook into a multimedia icon, appearing in comic books, TV shows, and films. While staying true to the core messages, like being proud to be different and that kindness isn't weakness. In a story about loss, friendship, and finding light in darkness. So let's go back to me. Still streaming. Good stuff. I can get rid of this now. All right. So, my official grade for Casper. There, that was bothering me. So, my official grade for Casper is large popcorn. So, this concludes tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed my review of Casper. And the 30th anniversary Spook-tacular. I almost forgot to add that part in. So yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen this movie in a while, you saw it a long time ago, you should watch it again. And you should put it on your annual Halloween watch every year. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Next week, I have a very special episode planned for Halloween. I'm not sure if I should say it. Yeah, screw it. I did it before too, because I teased Demon Night and then I did Demon Night. But yeah, for Halloween, I'm going to do the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So stay tuned next week. But I'm going to do the regular time. I had a little bit pushback this week. And remember, when it comes to Halloween movies, Casper is going to make you say, "That's the spirit." Have a good night. I'll see you at the movies. Okay, hold on. Take 2. And let's fill the screen. All right, here we go. So, until next time.
I'll see you at the movies.
Have a great day.
Did you know that I'm a film critic for HorrorBuzz.com? You can read my reviews on their website, and I make frequent appearances on their YouTube channel, HorrorBuzz Live, so I'll leave links below for that too.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And watch more of my videos. Enjoy. I'll see you next week at 9:30. Happy Halloween!